Assalamu alaikum and good day. My name is Muhammad Amir Ashraf bin Ahmad. Let me introduce a little bit about the topic that my group will be presenting. So, teaching is a dynamic profession that requires continuous growth and development. Teachers progress through different stages, gaining knowledge, skills, and experience over time. Thus, understanding these stages help in designing better training, support system, and career pathways for teachers. In Malaysia, the Ministry of Education has introduced structured programs to support teachers at different stages of their career development, such as Program Transformasi Minda, which is a compulsory program for new teachers, continuous professional development for competency improvement, and Guru Cemerlang for experienced teacher with high expertise. This presentation will explore different theories of teacher development and how they relate to Malaysian education policies and teachers' growth. In this presentation, our group will be discussing three of the theories in stages of teacher development. The first theory is the theory of teachers' concerns by Fuller in 1969. The second theory is the five stages of teacher development by Trotter in 1986. And the third is the six stages of teacher development as outlined by Malaysia's Ministry of Education. All of these theories will be discussed further in this presentation. Let's look at the first model of teacher development, which is the theory of teachers' concerns proposed by Francis F. Fuller in 1969. Francis Fuller proposed that teachers go through different stages of concern as they develop professionally. These concerns influence how teachers think, act, and respond to challenges in the classroom. According to Fuller, there are three main stages in this theory: self concern stage, task concern stage, and impact concern stage. The first stage is the self-concern stage, which are common among pre-service and teachers just beginning their career. At this stage, teachers are mainly focused on themselves. They worry about their own survival in their classroom, their ability to manage students, and how others perceive them. They often ask questions like, "Am I doing this correctly?" or "Will my students respect me?" For example, a new teacher in Malaysia just starting their career after graduating from IPGM might feel nervous about managing a large class or handling student behavior. They are still gaining confidence and are adjusting to the realities of teaching. The next stage is the task concern stage, which is common among teachers early on in their career. As teachers gain experience, their concerns shift from personal survival to their teaching task and method. They will focus on improving teaching strategies, lesson delivery, and time management. They will ask questions like, "How can I make my lessons more effective?" or "How can I manage time better during my lessons?" A Malaysian teacher at this stage may begin exploring different teaching strategies, such as using digital tools like Fog VLE or implementing active learning or pembelajaran active to engage students better. The last stage of the theory of teachers' concerns are the impact concern stage. This is very common among skilled and expert teachers. In this final stage, teachers are no longer worried about themselves or basic classroom management. Instead, they focus on their students' learning outcomes and how they can make greater impact. They ask questions like, "How can I help all my students succeed?" or "How can I contribute to education beyond my classroom?" For example, an experienced teacher in Malaysia may start mentoring junior teachers, conducting research on effective teaching practices, or even becoming a guru cemerlang to share expertise with others. At this stage, teachers play a crucial role in improving the overall education system.
Hi, Assalamu alaikum. So I will continue on the five stages of teacher development by Trotter in 1986. Okay. Okay. So according to Trotter, there are five stages of teacher development. Namely, the first stage is the survival stage. This is especially for the new teachers. And then the second stage is the stabilization stage, where the new teachers become developing teachers. They gain more experience until they enter the third stage of development, which is the experimentation stage. And then the fourth stage would be the mastery stage, where teachers become more advanced as they gain more experience and knowledge until they enter the fifth stage of development, which is the impact stage, where at the fifth stage, teachers tend to be active participation in educational industry. They tend to commit and do have the responsibility as an educational leaders. Okay, at the first stage, it is for the new teachers, also known as the survival stage, according to Trotter. Usually, we can identify this stage by not- noticing that mostly new teachers are overwhelmed with classroom responsibilities. Usually, most teachers struggle with lesson planning, classroom management, and student behavior, as this is the first year they are teaching school. And most new teachers also depend on textbook and structured lesson plans, and they less adopt and adapt. And how is this relevant? In that is why the MOE had put in the program during the induction phase, which is the PTN program, uh, as mentioned by Sir Ashraf earlier, the program Transformasi Minda, which is specifically to provide experience to the new teachers regarding this stage. And then the mentoring and support programs really help the new teachers to transition smoothly. Okay, on the second stage, also known as the stabilization stage, in this stage, teachers usually go through a phase called the developing phase, where teachers begin to feel more comfortable with the classroom routines and begin to modify lessons and adjust teaching methods to suit students. We already know the student needs, the different student needs. We already know uh, the specific instruction how to uh, give out our instruction to students. And during this stage also, teachers began to handling administrative tasks and get involved into co-curricular activities, and also actively involved in the parent-teacher interactions. Okay, how is this relevant? Teachers at this stage usually benefits from the CBD programs to refine the teaching strategies and encourage teachers during this stage also are encouraged to join the professional learning communities for collaborative learning in order to improve from time to time. The third stage, according to Trotter, is known as the experimentation stage. During this stage, teacher usually become experienced teacher. And in this stage, a teacher actively explore and implement new teaching techniques. This is the phase where teacher integrate technology, student-centered learning approach, and also innovative lesson plans. And also during this stage, because of teachers already get to know their students better, they know their students' needs better, they can experiment with problem-solving methods, and also project-based learning and differentiated instruction. How is this relevant? As we all know, moving forwards in the 2027 curriculum, it is really highly encouraged for teachers to integrate ICT into the classroom settings to make it more interesting and make our classroom settings more inclusive of all student needs. And also the CPD workshops focus on innovative teaching methods to improve the learning outcomes among the students and also the teacher themselves. The fourth stage, according to Trotter, is the mastery stage. During this stage, experienced teachers develop themselves into a more advanced teachers. Teachers during this stage are more confident and skilled in teaching, in their teaching techniques, in making assessment for students, and also leadership roles in schools. Teachers during this stage, they became active in implementing school-wide initiatives and supporting among their teacher colleagues, and also they actively and gladly take part in the curriculum development and also in the educational decision making roles. Teachers at this stage usually get awarded with the Guru Chumalang Award for motivation to keep on developing into a better person. And the ministry also will encourage teachers during this stage to keep on participating in educational leadership courses to develop themselves as they go on. Okay, now we move on to the fifth stage, which is the impact stage. This is the stage where teachers become educational leaders, or the educational leaders are born. So, among the characteristic that we can look into is that teacher become a strong advocates for educational transformation and reform, where we can see that more experienced teachers or more senior teachers, they involve directly in guiding and mentoring younger teachers in sharing beneficial experience, sharing very significant knowledge for the younger teachers to treasure in their teaching profession. Not to forget that teachers in this stage contribute to policy discussions, research, professional training, and etc. etc. This is so important. The R&D in the educational sector is very important, especially among senior teachers, experienced teachers. They already have the hands-on experience. They just need to write it down in an academic publication to make it more trustworthy, to make it more researchable, for in order for a greater development, in order to improve the education sector in Malaysia. Okay, this, what can I say? Why is this relevant to our Malaysia context? Is that teachers in this stage usually become school heads or MOE policymakers, or even teacher trainees in the IPGM or in the UPSI or in the MCKK. So this is where the next step after teacher become stagnant, the development becomes stagnant at certain area where they already utilize every ideas, every methodologies, every strategies. Now they feel that a new innovation should come in the education industry. That is why teachers at this stage, they prefer to go to the ministry, go to do research, and go to conduct professional training in order to produce a better teacher than what they were was once upon a time. Another thing is that the teachers in this stage usually get involved in the education and think tanks. They attend conferences, they present papers, findings, the current innovation in the educational sector industry, and even they go to international teaching collaboration. Nowadays we are living in the postmodern era where the world is a borderless state. We don't have any more border online. We only have physical border, but that physical border can be overcome with technology, with digital. I can be staying in Malaysia and be teaching students in Europe and China and Indonesia at the same time, because we are living in a borderless territory.
Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. So, I'll be explaining on the 6 stages of teachers' development through the Ministry of Education or MOE Malaysia. First, we will look at implementer or executor. Teachers at this stage act as implementers of policies, and curriculum set by the Ministry of Education of Malaysia, MOE. The main focus of is on understanding and practicing basic pedagogy and effective teaching strategies in the classroom. Teachers adhere to the Malaysian teacher standard (SGM) and apply teaching methods aligned with student needs. So, what can be summarized in this part of the slide is that teachers at this level are merely executors of the will of the MOE, and we will follow as we are instructed by the MOE and its many policies. Second part or second stage is the mover. All right. So at this stage, teachers begin to serve as drivers of change in the classroom and school. They are more proactive and innovative, using student centered teaching strategies and encouraging active learning. Teachers also participate in professional learning communities or PLCs, sharing their best practices and guiding colleagues in improving effectiveness. So, what can we understand by this? So, movers are a step higher than the first level, which they are now more proactive and more uh, engaged in the syllabus of education, and therefore they hold more responsibility and hold more power in the implementation of those uh, policies by the MOE. Third stage, mentor or coach. Right. At this stage, teachers at this stage are not only experienced but also serve as mentors or coaches to new teachers or colleagues. They provide pedagogical guidance, assist in lesson planning, and give constructive feedback to other teachers. This role is crucial in collectively improving the quality of teaching in schools. So, what we can understand at this stage is mentors are now at the helm of teaching experiences. They now lead other teachers who are less experienced in their ways, especially in pedagogy, and give feedback to their fellow teachers. So at this stage, teachers have more experience and now are leading in terms of uh, their leadership in the school system. Fourth stage, change leader. Teachers at this stage act as agents of change, introducing innovations in education, such as new approaches in the pedagogy, assessment, and educational technology. They lead school initiatives like literacy enhancement programs, STEM projects, or inquiry based learning. Their ability to analyze data and engage in professional reflection allows them to identify issues in the education system and find effective solutions. So, change leader here is defined as one who starts to change the policies and practices within the school system itself. So, after gaining experience, teachers therefore gain the ability to critically view certain implementations, certain practices inside of the school system, and therefore allow themselves to make better judgment calls and change the practices from what used to be less efficient to more efficient or more effective. Fifth stage of teachers is the strategic thinker. Now, teachers not only become change implementers, but also start thinking at a strategic level in education. They are involved in long term planning, curriculum development, and education policies at the district or state level. At this stage, teachers play a role in shaping educational policies and directions that have a significant impact in the schooling system. At this stage, we are teachers that have higher levels of strategic thinking Therefore, it's not merely on the implementation of things, but also a wider implementation of effective strategies that might not be in previous iterations. Well, maybe it's due to technological differences and technological advancement. So, certain practices may not be in tune with the current technological growth, and therefore, strategic thinkers are required to implement these new policies and effectively involve all the other teachers under their command and under their influence to uphold and help initiate these changes. Last but not least, for the six stages of teachers' development is the holistic thinker. This is the highest stage in the teacher's professional development, where they have a comprehensive and in-depth understanding of the education system. Teachers in this stage are not only experts in their fields, but they can also see the broader impact of educational changes such as system effectiveness, student well-being, and the importance of community development. They engage in educational research, academic writing, and contribute to policy development at the national and international level. So, holistic level is the highest level, and therefore, teachers of this caliber usually are the one who dictate certain policy changes, and it's due to their experience, their expertise, and their understanding of the school system that they are able to effectively implement these changes. And without those kind of teachers leading the helm, um, the education systems might falter or even stagnate at the rate in which other nations might be developing faster and faster. The following are the challenges in teacher development in Malaysia. First point, heavy workload limits continuing professional development or CPD. Here, we can understand that with the heavy workload, a lot of teachers might not be able to catch up with their CPDs. And therefore, certain teachers, especially those who are nearing the retirement age, might not be able to catch up or even understand certain um, jargons related to a new CPD program. For example, it might be technological progression that limits their understanding of new fields of study or fields of professional development. Second, rural teachers have less access to training programs. So, as we understand, rural teachers might not have the greatest access internet to the internet and even greatest access to other um, tools for their career development and professional development. Therefore, rural teachers might face a unique challenge in which they might have to head out, go further away from the places in which they are teaching in order to update their knowledge. And without that, they might remain stagnant in their field of knowledge. And lastly, adapting to new teaching methods is difficult for some educators. As mentioned previously, certain teachers or certain educators might have difficulties in accessing or even understanding new teaching methods. This is due to many factors such as age, career development, or even their unwillingness to learn new teaching methods, as they believe that the way that they are teaching are already enough. However, this mindset has to be changed in order to further develop not only the teacher's ability but also the capabilities of the school system. Here are a few possible solutions for the challenges in teacher development in Malaysia. First, we can look at online CPD courses for remote teachers. For those who are not able to physically attend CPD courses, an online option is better as they allow teachers to actively engage while being physically far away. Second, stronger mentorship programs for new teachers. So, for new teachers, a lot of guidance are required, especially when it comes to the implementation of new policies. Therefore, mentorship programs allow a certain level of confidence be implemented into new teachers by way of mentorship, and those of higher experience are able to share their personal stories, personal experiences in order to instill in teachers their newfound motivation and aspiration. And lastly, financial incentives for professional development. So, for a lot of teachers, it's financially unattractive for them to continuing to develop themselves, especially when it comes to having to apply for financial aid in order to get either the master's degree or the doctorate in the education field. Education field, and therefore, um, gaining financial incentives by way of professional development is one way to motivate teachers in order for them to better themselves, not only for the school system but also for the students themselves.
In conclusion, teacher development is a lifelong journey. Teachers start from simply trying to survive in the classroom and progress towards mastery, where they can make a significant impact on students and the education system as a whole. In Malaysia, the Ministry of Education has implemented various structured programs to support teachers at every stage of their careers. Programs like Program Transformasi Minda or PTM for new teachers, Continuous Professional Development or CPD, Guru Cemerlang Recognition, and Standard Guru Malaysia 2.0 help teachers grow professionally and improve their teaching practices. By understanding the stages of teacher development, we can design better training programs, policies, and professional growth opportunities for educators. This ensures that teachers are well equipped to face challenges of the classroom and continuously improve their teaching effectiveness. Ultimately, when we invest in teacher development, we are investing in the future of education. Empowered teachers lead to better student learning, stronger schools, and a brighter future for our nation.